can do the water. We can do the water. We can do the water. Perfect. Good way to start it out.
Dessert.
But thanks for joining us today too, bro. I really appreciate your time.
No problem, man.
You know what I mean?
No problem, man.
But I actually had a chance to kind of go over your resume, man, and it's impressive, man. Just want to congratulate you on all the success, everything that you've been able to accomplish. It's definitely dope. Being executive producer, creative director, like that's a lot of responsibility on set. So I kind of wanted to just give the viewers just kind of explain the industry, you know, kind of how you got into it, you know, just give a little background on where it all started.
So I grew up, my father was a chef that worked late nights, and he had a VHS collection of over 5,000 movies. And I would stay up late night, my brother and I, wait for him to come home, and we would pick a movie to watch, and we would watch a movie till we fell asleep, and I always want to learn how to make movies. So that propelled me to get into the industry. I went to Full Sail down in Florida. And then after graduating Full Sail, well, right before I graduated Full Sail, I took a 3-month internship for a show called Slime Time Live on Nickelodeon. You remember that show?
I sure do, bro.
Yeah, so I did internship there. It was 3 months, and then in 2 weeks I got hired on, making $167 a day.
Wow.
As in the art department and as a camera utility kind of thing. And ever since then I've been working. I was in 2003. So then I you know, that's how basically I got in. After that show ended, I did another show called Splat, and then I moved to New York to do a Nickelodeon show called You Pick Live, and then did some stuff for MTV TRL back in the day, and like VH1 Saved Music, and you know, that kind of thing. And then moved back to Florida, and then that's when I started my connection with Disney and doing a lot of stuff at Disney. Then I got on Survivor, and I did 6 seasons back to back on Survivor, out on location. All this, I was assistant camera, working my way into the camera field. And then I turned around and became a camera operator for a lot of main shows. You probably know all of them. And then went on to become a director of photography on shows like Undercover Boss and Treehouse Masters and Full Throttle Saloon and just a bunch of shows, man. Just did a lot of things in Alaska, flying wild Alaska. And at the same time, I started my own company and started doing music videos for main big artists. My cousin and I started a company. Transitioned out of that in my freelance world, became a director / associate producer. And now I'm just directing and I'm executive producing, creating my own content. Like I had a content call today where I have 3 shows that might be going to Africa for distribution first. That I'm working on with some celebrities. Can't disclose them yet, but and you know, I've really I sit, man, like in these times and just develop pitch decks for shows, and I have a lot of celebrity friends, and hey, you interested in doing something like this? And then we work it out together. As far as the music video game, man, we did one of our biggest is Lil Wayne Don't Cry, off the Carter 5. We wrote the concept, executed the concept, did the posts on it and everything. So kind of like executive produced that through my company and directed that video. Done stuff for Diddy, Rick Ross. Man, been a blessing, bro.
Yeah, it sounds like it's been a blessing, man. It sounds like it's been blessing on top of blessing, which is great.
Yeah, it's been good, man. I've been favored through my career. You know, there's a lot of ups and downs being freelance, but you know, it's you know, just keep pushing. And I still have a lot of growth that I'm doing. You know, I want to sell my own content shows, and got a couple of documentaries that I'm getting ready to do. What's up, Rome?
I wanted to ask you a question, Gio, for like people that's inspired to want to get into film. What can you suggest? Should they go the college route or should they go more the intern route? Like, what do you really suggest?
So I think it really depends on the individual. And when I say that, you know, college is not for everyone, right? You know that. I mean, everyone, you know, and also people, it depends on how much you know about the industry. So if you want to go to college to learn a lot more before you get in to be prepared, it's cool. It's going to take you 2 years for AS, 4 years or whatever. But I mean, taking a straight internship is also great because on-the-job training is one of the best trainings you can get for this industry. Touching the gear, being right there, hearing the lingo, all that kind of stuff like that. I think the intern route is amazing if you can land an internship. And like, say you don't want to go back to school, you already have a degree or whatever, or you can take your degree if you have one and you want to get in the film industry and get a master's or go for a bachelor's if you only have an AS and only do those 2 years or whatever and learn more. But I'll be totally honest with you. Unless you're in the corporate America, in the corporate world of this industry, the degrees really don't matter. I know a ton of people that are at my level or below me or whatever, or even above me that don't have a degree, got in the industry from who they know or did an internship, and they are excelling from on-the-job training. I'm not speaking against colleges and education. I'm just saying, I know a lot of people that did not go that route.
No. I appreciate that, because the reason why I wanted you to, the reason why I asked you that and I wanted you to touch on that and enlighten on that is because, you know, I went to college and I'm not even using my degree, and mine was just a lot of on-the-job training in the music business and interning and then working with certain people and going through the ups and downs like you said. And I think, you know, I'll let Zach talk, and Zach can touch on that too with his experiences too as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of ups and downs, you know, basically depending on the circumstances. But yeah, with your 16 years of experience, what did you enjoy doing the most, like as far as working on set?
You know what, man? I really enjoyed, I love directing right now. I love directing is one of my, and executive producing and things like that, but I really enjoyed the highlights of my career were being the director of photography. And that's in charge of the lighting, the cameras, the look, you know, the executive producers and the directors. So we look at you like, hey, make it look like this. And you have to paint a picture with lighting and you know, looks inside camera or whatever, things like that. I love the aspect of a director because it's just a creative mindset. I don't touch the camera as much as anymore, probably hardly ever, but I do look for talented individuals that are hungry and up and coming to work with me. And then, as you know, coming from that background, I know what I want in a shot, and I know so. But I let them. I don't stunt their creativity because I didn't want mine stunt when I was a director of photography. I let them show me stuff, and sometimes I give suggestions, and maybe do it this way or that way, whatever. You know what I mean? And collectively, we come up with great projects. You know, great.
So I also saw that you were a cinematographer and videographer as well. So cinematography is really based off of tones, visual. I can really see that. But can you kind of break down to the people who are looking, like just kind of what the difference is of a videographer and a cinematographer?
So cinematographer, the word cinematography comes from, you know, back in the day, it was film. So cinema, film, you know, things like that. But then when we came into the whole, you know, HD and then to 4K and all the way up to 8K now, that terminology is still transpired over and transferred over into those. So cinematography is really, to me, is really a more creative aspect of the art form. Moods, lighting moods, tones, crazy composition that captivates the psychological mind of the audience, you know. And a videographer can also be creative, but videographers are really considered more documentation, news style, you know what I mean? And it's a videographer is also, it's not film, it's considered video. So, but still, I mean, if you take that aspect out of it, it's more of documentation, news style, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's still a lot of creativity in that term. But cinematography, like if you want to be called, like, just to say in a carpenter world, or let's just say in a restaurant, you know, you want to be the head chef, or you want to be the executive chef. Cinematography is like being the executive chef, and videography is like being the head chef. It's like, it sounds better too. Think about it.
It does. And I like how you brought up tones and mood boards, and I think a lot of people don't do that, especially on the independent level.
Yeah.
And I feel like that has a lot to do with the end product, as far as the look.
Yeah.
Like, because me and Rome was just talking about how a lot of indie films just don't pop how they're supposed to, because they just don't really put focus into tones and things of that nature. So the next question would be, let's talk about the creating side of things. You know, maybe the writer's room, you know, maybe the bounce back ideas, you know, just kind of give people an idea on how you create what it is you create.
So, you know, after we come up with a concept, and if a show gets greenlit, or even if I'm just hired on to come work with a network.
Well, real quick, right? Because Zach, you guys are talking foreign real quick, right? So I want to ask both of you guys real quick and then go back to that question. Can you guys break down some of the verbiage and the language for people who don't have a background in film? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you want to talk about like ADs, you know, PAs, stuff like that? Okay.
Just educate us, like, you know, people who's not on for what you two guys do, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's talking about certain words and you know certain words, so people can really grasp onto that and hold on to that.
Okay, so I'll let you lead the way, Georgio, if that's cool. As far as, you know, maybe some of the verbiage on set. I'm familiar with it, but I'm probably sure you know more than I do with that. So
we talk positions, and it varies. So, like, you know, commercials and feature films, episodics, music videos are, and then there's reality TV, and then there's live TV, live sports, things like that. Positions, certain verbiage and positions are maybe a little bit different. So, like, an associate producer on a film is different from associate producer on a live TV truck. But basically, what you have on a set, the basics are, you start off with, you know, the bottom of the totem pole, you have your interns and you have your production assistants. And now these production assistants might be runners. Sometimes they're called PA runners that go pick up stuff, lunch and things like that. And then you have some that might be considered camera PAs that assist, that help with the camera department, that help with the assistant cameras, which is the next level up, and then might help up with like a junior operator or you know, and then there's the camera operator, and then above the camera operator is the director of photography. That's the camera department. Now, if you go to the lighting department, you have I would say low man on the totem pole, but they're not really low man, but you have your grips and your electrics. Grips deal with all the hardware, stands, sandbags, certain kind of flags and rags and things like that. The electrics deal with running power and, you know, bandits and wiring things and lighting heads and fixtures, and collectively they put together lights. And then above them you have your best boy, which is above the electrics. You have your key grip, which is above all and is in charge of all the grips. And then you have your gaffer, and your gaffer sits under the DP. The gaffer is in the DP, the director of photography, talks to the gaffer, says, "This is the lighting I want." He tells his guys how to set it up. Then you go to your art department. You have art PAs, and, you know, this varies in different things. You have art PAs that come in, and then you have your set designers and art directors who are on the top like that, and prop masters are also fit in there. And, you know, prop masters deal directly with the props on stage and things like that. Set designers deal with the entire set, and art directors over top of it. Then you have your audio. You have your audio supervisor, or you can say your A1, depending on what kind of set you're on. And then below them is the A2. And depending on what kind of set you're on, the A2 can be the person holding the boom while on a film set. The A2 on some reality shows can be the person that's miking, livening up talent on location and organizing stuff, changing batteries, things like that. And your audio supervisor can be your main audio guy, depending on if it's a truck show or if it's a E&G in the field. Then you have your AD department. You have your first AD, your assistant director, who's in charge of most of the time formulating the call sheet, the schedule, the shot shooting schedule, things of that nature, moving along. And then you have the second AD beneath him who assists him, but also helps with talent, main talent, you know, A-list talent, extras, moving those around. And then you sometimes have casting people in there, but very rarely. But and then in that department, you also have like a key PA or something that helps you, or production assistants. And, you know, ADs are not used on all sets. You know, on reality sets, we skip the whole AD thing, and it's literally like executive producer, supervising producer, story producer, director, film producer, and then like associate producer, and then you go down the line to camera department, audio, stuff like that. And then you got the whole post world, man. You got a executive. There's actually executive producers of post, post production supervisor. Comes underneath them is your editors, and then after that, that is your underneath the editors are the people who input and transcribe if you need that, and organize. And then on set is a DIT, who dumps footage. Also, a DIT can be used to help paint what's in the camera. But DITs organize stuff, and then when they send it to post, the post department ingest it and transcribe if they need to, things of that nature.
Most definitely. It's a lot of people that go in the set. I try to explain that to people all the time. It's like people just use one camera guy, or it's like, bro, it's so much more to that. So
if you're running gun and guerrilla style, you could. Yeah.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said some people running gun. Sometimes you can run a gun and do like news style, or if you're just doing something like an interview, you can do it with like 4 or 5 people, audio guy. But but a lot of these sets that I've been on sets 300 strong. Survivor.
I can just imagine. Yeah, because when I was looking at your IMDb, when I saw Survivor, I saw a bunch of different films. I mean, reality shows from Tiny and T.I. and I could just imagine how many ones. Yeah, I could just imagine. Now, to get back to the question that we were on, as far as the creative process of it, getting these mood boards together, getting these tones together that we were speaking about. I kind of wanted to get into that in the writer's room, just creating some ideas, just talk about that process.
So, it's, your pre-production, it's always going to help you throughout your production.
Yes, sir. Correct.
And a lot of things change, you know what I mean? But when you're in a room and you're creating concepts or storylines, whatever it is, script stuff, breaking down script, it's very key to have, depending on what the project is, mood boards, storyboards, breakouts from the scenes. Like, what else, when we do this scene, what else could come out of this? Who do we want in this scene, kind of thing like that. And in those rooms, a lot of creativity comes, and a lot of suggestions get thrown away by the wayside, but you have to speak your mind because, it's so much. It's mind-boggling sometimes. And when you come together with a good team and you put together this package and you get the right formula, it just works out. And it's different. Like I said, it's different. These writer rooms are different on the reality set. Because believe it or not, and I'm not trying to break any secret, but a lot of reality sets are reality, but you look at scene work, you're like, you want to put them in this restaurant and you like, we want them to talk about something. You give them a topic to talk about and you just let them go. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You try to get what you can out of it. You know what I mean? But and on a film set, it's it's different. It's everything. It's they're memorizing the script, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So or a sports cast script, or you know what I mean? If you're a live game, halftime show, whatever, it's all different. But also on a different look when there's no dialogue, 90% of music videos, I create this pitch deck. When an artist gives me a song, I come through and I break it down, and it's not just in text form. I grab, and it's not, and this is not illegal to do, but I go online and I grab visuals of what I think and I put them in place and put it in this layout that's eye-catching and they can see it. And then, you know what I mean? And it's like you're pulling images off online, but you're not using it for sale. It's all internal use. So
yeah, I get exactly.
And then when they see that stuff and they get the vision, and then next, they're like, let's go. You know what I mean? And that's key. It's key to do your prep and your pre-production for any project, because once you get in the field, time is money.
Can I ask you guys something, Zach? I know you got a bunch of questions, right?
And yeah, because I'm definitely want to pick his brain.
Because I think it's like, for me, on the executive side, working with a lot of artists, right? You guys on the creative film side, you guys bring a lot of visions to life. Can you guys, both of you guys, please talk how important it is to have an accurate budget and break down what that budget is? People always think when you tell them a number, as far as monetary, from a money standpoint, they think, oh, you're getting over, especially as minority people, they think, oh, we're getting over. Can you please Gio and Zach, tell the people and break it down like from soup to nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll let you lead, Gio.
Yeah, so basically, you know, budget is always key. And there's accountability in budget. You know what I mean? If you're the production company and you're putting up the money, then it's like you know, you control the budget, but you still have line items and people need to be paid properly. But when you are not putting up the money and it's the network is putting up the money or an investor is putting up the money and they want to see where that money is going, it's you know, it's key to break that thing down to, you know, this is how many PAs I have for this many days. This is how many cameras I'm renting. This is how much, you know, this restaurant is going to charge us for this many hours, but if we go over, it's going to cost more. This is how much office supplies we need. This is how much, you know, I mean, all the way down to this is how many batteries audio needs. You know, you have to break that thing down and come up with that number. Travel expenses is another thing, and these people want to see where their money is going, because there's a lot of stuff in this industry when you're dealing with people that they give money and they think that you're taking from them, or like you know, wait a minute, you could have did this for 10,000. Why do you need 15? You know, and it's like you have to show line items, and you know, and usually when I deal with somebody that's putting up budget somewhere, when it's not dealing with a major network, which is it's a totally different beast, is I give a number, and then I give pre-production will cost this, production will cost this, and then I say post will cost this, and then I give another breakdown in pre-production. Travel, expense, these supplies. In production, this is how much crew is going to cost. Per diem for crew if we're traveling. This is how much camera rentals, lighting is going to cost. This is what we're getting. Post production, this is what it costs for color correction. This is what it costs for, you know, manpower time estimate, you know, as far as per hour and things like that. And then any graphics and things like that. And that's why your total is like that. And when they see that transparency is key, they, you know, it works better.
I like how you put that together, because what I really wanted to say was I just want to tell artists and whoever that's listening, there's no flat rate for any video. Everything is different. Every budget is different. Every idea is different. Every creative process is different. So nobody's trying to manipulate the budget or take advantage of anyone's budget. It's just more so a lot goes into these projects, and there's no flat rates. And if we charge you $5,000 or $10,000, we're really, you know, you're paying for a peace of mind, because you're going to get what you get done, and it's going to be done proper, and it's going to be shot right in post-production and pre-production, and everything will be done properly. So it's pretty much all I want to say as far as the budget's concerned. I think a lot of people, you know, want to have some odd reason that it's a flat rate, like, you know, but it's not.
Never.
What is per diem, right? I know what it is. I'm just asking you guys these questions.
So per diem is when you travel. Yeah, when you travel with crew, there is a law for different states. Like if you take a 10-man crew to LA, the per diem there is going to be higher than if you take them to Kansas City. You know what I mean? And that is, even though you're feeding your crew, maybe referencing lunch, and then you're off by 12 hours or whatever you booked them for, you still owe them because they're away from home. You know, like I think the minimum in the U.S. is like something like $40-something a day when they work or they travel.
And say that again, bro. They're away from home, so people could really
away from home,
like what we're doing, what we're sacrificing too. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when you're away from home, it's to help you on your off hours to get dinner, to do whatever, buy stuff for your room. But you're supposed to get per diem. It's legal. It's legally supposed to happen. A lot of companies, you know, and you're not. And another thing, a lot of companies get away with this. You're not supposed to be taxed on it, but a lot of people put them on checks. They put the per diem on checks, and they tax you. But you know, it is what it is, man.
Bro, you gotta mute your phone, Rome. You gotta mute your phone. Hey, bro, we can hear you talking, bro. You say what?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good. Go ahead. Let it hear if I say it. But you were saying what?
I said a lot of people, a lot of companies, you're not, right, old school, you're not supposed to tax people on per diem, but, you know, I don't want to get into that monster, but, you know, some people do because they do feed you like 3 times a day, and it's like hey, we just throw it on your check instead of giving you cash. Back in the day, man, they used to just, you go on a traveling job and they give you an envelope and you sign out for it.
Yeah.
You know, here's $450, you know, like that.
Yep.
It's not that much of that anymore. Nah.
That back those, I used to love when it was like that, bro. Let me handle my own stuff. Give me my bread. If I choose to spend it or send it home to my family to pay a bill, whatever, or I just use it. Right.
Yeah, but people just take advantage of stuff like that, and now no one could utilize it anymore. So yeah. But so how can, well, let me ask this question first. In today's industry, what advice would you give a freelance videographer who has fallen on bad times because of the COVID-19, pandemic? Any ideas what they can work on that's on their downtime, or anything that you might, can suggest that they do?
First of all, I would like to say that for anyone that's in this industry that suffered, because we all have, because the industry is fully shut down, better planning. We gotta do better planning for things like this. We never thought like something like this would happen, but and I'm not trying to get personal with anyone, but I'm just saying, like, try not to live above your means, and save some money for rainy days like this when you come through, or rainy months, whatever you want to call it, so that you can survive, because the freelance world is very hard. If you don't work, you don't eat. You don't work, you don't get paid. So think future, put a nest egg away. Now, as far as creative, I would go outside and film time lapses of sunsets and sunrises. If you don't do that, go on Amazon and purchase a little cheapo motion control device, like a 3-foot motion control device, and work on time lapse motion control, like sunsets or whatever, like shadows and on buildings, whatever you can find. Just do some stuff like that if you're into that kind of stuff. And that kind of stuff, man, people buy that stock footage all the time. But also work on, man, just like, I would film stuff. I started filming stuff with my kids. And I really don't, I come from a camera background. We just started a YouTube channel. We're doing some crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Just having fun doing that. Like, just, but also I would just work on, if you have lights, man, light up a room and shoot a little scene with your wife or whoever you have in the house. Just do some stuff to keep the juice going. You know what I mean? And also, I would, if you're into editing and you do your own stuff, I would try to do some learn After Effects, and so, like, when you come out of this, it's like you sharpen your skills as an editor more, and you can then charge people for graphics instead of calling the next man. Work on color correction. Do a lot of examples. Shoot some footage, bring it in, color it. Just do anything to keep you to come on the back end, like, hey, I have another skill in this industry.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct on that. I think a lot of people just get stagnant, and then the creative juices just stop flowing. You can definitely do anything.
Can I ask you guys both a question before you
go? Brother.
Why do you guys on the film side and the movie side are more frequently and so humble to work with each other and support each other, versus on the music side, a lot of cats don't want to support each other and work with each other?
Well,
I think.
Go ahead. Nah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I really think that, because on the music side, I think you're dealing with individuals, or you're dealing with a group that, when you deal with an individual, and I'm saying the artist, so you win if you get a good artist. You know what I mean? And you're promoting a good artist and things like that. Collectively on our film side, we work together for projects and scripts. And it's just, I think it's more, there's more opportunity and more projects available to us than like on the A&R side or management side or label side, looking for that one good artist. And it's like, move out my way, that's mine. Or, I'm going to work with them, and it's just like a little bit more of a shark game out there,
I can definitely agree with him on that. It's definitely more of a shark game when it comes to the music industry. People are, getting artists, and they don't want other people to get around them. So when it comes to the film game, I mean, well, I'm just a person in any field of work I work in. If somebody's good at what they do, I respect what they do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess it all does come down to your character and your principles at the end of the day as well. So, you know, I would say that as far as being a videographer, cinematographer, and, you know, talking to creatives like, you know, my boy Georgio right here, and just meeting him within 34 minutes, hey, you know, I definitely respect everything that he's saying, and you know, I would love to work with him in the future. But it's not like that with music. Music is more of a, I don't know. It's more of like a competition type of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's definitely more of a competition.
It is what I'm saying. Yeah, it is a lot of competition.
Yeah. So to get back on I wanted to ask a question about a distributor. You know, you had spoke about that earlier. Yeah. How does an independent, you know, videographer, cinematographer get their film in front of a distributor?
Okay, so it's kind of hard. It's a really who you know game.
I bet.
And the funny thing is, like a Netflix or somebody, if they look at you as a new person that's never sold anything to them or put anything on their platform, it's, you know, it's even harder to get in. You know what I'm saying? So you got to break that shell. One of the easiest ways to do is to take a project and submit it into multiple film festivals. Believe it or not, a lot of people get deals out of film festivals.
Some of them are free. Yeah, they're like $50.
Yeah, you go in and there's a lot of people there, a lot of creatives, and your project airs, and then it's like, hey man, you know, you want a home for this distribution, you know, or whatever. They might buy it outright, or they might say, hey, can you do another whatever this you have? You know, that really does happen. That's not a Cinderella story. That happens a lot. The other way would be, you know, really reaching out to these men. I have, you know, LinkedIn and all these places. You find people at these places and just start sending people messages and be like, hey, got a project, you want to check it out? You just got to get the right person. If you're an indie person and then you don't know anyone at Netflix, Hulu, at, you know, Lionsgate, all these big companies, you feel like it's impossible. I would say just keep pushing. 100 no's, you'll get a yes. You know what I mean? And just keep putting if you have something good, like I said, film festivals are amazing. Also, another way to do it is if you can build a YouTube following. Sometimes I don't advise putting a whole project on there because then you lose, you know, you're showing it to the audience. And if you want it to sell somewhere, you lose it. But if you can get a following and put a trailer up there, or you know someone that has 1 million followers and you like put my trailer up, you know what I mean? You can be seen, but you really got to get it out there. You really got to get out there. It's not impossible to get a meeting with a Netflix person or someone on that level, but it can be hard.
Yeah, most definitely. Because I guess a lot of people get frustrated because they can't get that type of look. But as you said, you know, a lot of these YouTube channels have 2-3 million viewers, like Alter, for example, Film Ride. I mean, tons of different platforms that are on YouTube who have 1.5, you know, 2.5 million followers that are they're driving to their content. So you're definitely right about that. Now, are there any recommendations you would give any videographers right now? Like anything that you would just give anyone just randomly, just motivation, anything?
Regardless of how good you think you are at your job, I would say at your craft, I would say always want to learn more. As you know, in our industry, cameras and technology, you know, one camera comes out, you buy it, and then next week is a competition camera that's better, and then next year that camera that you bought is a new model with new features. So it's always expanding your mind. One of the ways, you know, I give my honor to God for everything that I've creatively and successfully came upon. But one thing that I always do is learn how to adapt in situations and be a people person. If you have bad social skills, I mean, yeah, you can be, excuse my French, an asshole and still be a successful cinematographer, director, whatever. But goes a long way when you can walk into a situation and be a great problem solver and also be able to adapt with, you know, always working with new crew members and things like that, and not just, you know, looking down on people and just always being, you know, that person that is focused, but at the same time is So I created myself to be a person that was needed on set, not a person that they want. And so we need this guy because this guy brings up the morale and he knows what he's doing. And that's how God gave me that vision years ago of how to do that. And you know what I mean? And it's just, man, just be in your creative mind, but also think about people. You don't know what people are going through, you know what I'm saying, around you, you know?
Most definitely. That's some good advice to give someone, especially to be humble and treat the guy at the door like the CEO. Yourself. Yeah, humble, very humble. Yeah. Now, my last question. This is just the only one I want to know. What is a mistake that you made throughout your career that you learned from just tremendously?
Ooh. You know what? I could talk on a personal level.
Oh wow. Okay.
A lot of us are, I mean, you think about how many people in the industry. I was married young. I'm celebrating 16 years.
Oh wow.
I've been married my entire time in the industry, right?
Okay.
Well, so.
Congratulations.
Thank you. As a married man, I was married to my work a lot. I traveled a lot. And when I say I traveled a lot, a lot. It almost cost me my marriage. You know what I'm saying?
It did for me.
Yeah, you know exactly how it is, right? So I would say that I regret and I look back the times that I always would just leave, even through the hardships that my wife and I've been through personally, which is a whole nother story. We would come out of things and then losing children. We had to bury a son, stuff like that. And then 6 months later, I was on the road, like in Africa, you know what I'm saying? And, it was because I always looked at chasing the money because I need to feed my family. But I would say that if you put your family first and you learn a balanced work family life, that God will provide for you. And I don't mean to bring this to spiritual, but I'm just telling you that you don't have to say yes to every job. Sometimes those jobs come up to you at the time and it seems great, but I would say really seek into your inner self, pray about it and think it's it, because if you take that job the next week, something bigger came up and you miss out on it because you signed on to something else. But balanced work life with family and even your personal life. Don't be a workaholic if you're single. Work, and make all this money and then have no way to enjoy your life and spend and treat yourself. You know what I mean? I would say, so the answer to your question is that no is sometimes okay.
Hey, I respect that, brother. And your answer was dope. I really do respect it. Actually, gave me some goosebumps, man, because a lot of that applied to my life as well. That's dope, man. So, yeah, man, I appreciate the conversation. Rome, you got anything left?
Nah, I just want to tell you guys, man, I think it's dope what you guys are doing. Thank you, Zach. You know what I'm saying? You provide a different platform, which is a unique platform. People don't get to see. I'm big on just brothers and it doesn't mean brothers as minorities, especially minorities, but brothers, period, whether white, black, or whatever. Just being able to fellowship and share stories, because we don't talk no more about anything. We don't try to lift each other up through situations. So I'm big on that, man, and I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's dope what you're doing, Zach. Let's just keep pushing it forward. Gio, I think it's dope what you're doing. Y'all two definitely got to connect and become brothers. Yeah, hey, Gio, he's solid as A1, bro. Yes, hey. Sure. If you love me, bro, you like, okay, Rome, my God, you gonna love him. He's solid.
Family, bro.
Hey, Rome, it's the same way with you, big bro. You always been 100 with me, man. You never been any other way, man. And I love you for that, man. And I appreciate everything you do as well. And Rio, man, I appreciate you, bro. The conversation, your knowledge, that's priceless. And your time is priceless. So thanks for giving us that.
Thank you,
get what I'm saying? Real talk.
You, bro. Yeah, man. Are you here in Atlanta?
No, I'm in Washington, D.C., man. I'm a Washingtonian.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do go to Atlanta. I do come down there and rock out. You know what I mean? So we'll definitely get together. I'm going to upload this on my YouTube channel. It's pretty new, but we're just getting some algorithms and hopefully it'll go well.
Send me the link too, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do the thumbnail and everything for it. I found your profile, so I must probably snatch a photo off your LinkedIn if that's cool.
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
then and then we'll just do a thumbnail for it and put it up. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that this right here is the beginning of something great, and hopefully people get in the comments and talk about some of the things that we spoke on. So maybe we can do a part 2 to this, as far as,
just let me know.
Yeah, man, like, because I think that'd be great, because I could come up with some more, more questions, and I think that it would help people and, give people a different perspective on this industry. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm all the way with it, man. But thank you so much for your time, brother.
And all the viewers, man, the people that are watching, I know we're still recording, man, remember, don't give up on your dreams. And for every 100 no, you're going to get a yes. Whether it's a project, a job, if you keep applying for an internship, don't give up. Never give up. Quitters, we're not quitters. We're too strong for that. Keep pushing.
Yeah. And that's the best words you can give somebody, brother. So I definitely appreciate you, man. Real talk, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this off, and then we'll just get back together. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this recording real quick.